Hey everyone, TrainGuy1969 here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we've got something extra special. As most of you know, if you've been watching my videos, I don't have a layout. In fact, when I film my videos, they are basically some track that already has a road bed like Caddo or Bachmann I'd been using. And I just laid it out on the floor and I would film from there. Well, this summer I was fortunate enough to notice on my local model railroading Facebook group that someone was giving away a 4x8 layout. So I was fortunate enough to be the first to respond, and I was able to get myself a beautiful little layout. So this particular layout had belonged to an individual. From my understanding, it was in their work, and they had it there, and then it got stored away at a relative's house. Unfortunately, the person who had owned this layout or was in possession of it passed away, and his daughter is the one who was giving it away. Beautifully done. I don't know who exactly built it. I don't believe it was the lady's father, if I understand correctly, but he did come into possession of it, and she isn't a model railroader and wanted it to go somewhere that it would get some good use, and so here it is. I was really fortunate. I just haven't had the time or the place to build my own layout, so when I had the opportunity to get this one, I jumped on it. I don't have the space still at my house to be able to store it, so right now I've got it stored elsewhere, and as soon as I make some room in my own house, this is where I'm hoping to be able to move it to. This is set up as a DC layout. As you can see, there are a couple of controllers here, and they have it wired in to two separate loops. So these two loops do not connect. Maybe someday I will create a switch over where I can have the trains run from one loop to the next. But the way it's set up is I can have two separate DC trains running. If I do DCC on it, it'll simply be DCC running on one of the loops. So take a look at some of the buildings here. All of these buildings, well, I shouldn't say all, with the exception of maybe one or two, are actually paper. These are the original buildings that were on the set, nicely detailed. Unfortunately, this one is missing part of its roof, so I will have to find something to replace that. But they've done a wonderful job on these. We've got a camping store, a bank, a hotel, a barn with, of course, the herd of cattle and a couple of horses, the farmhouse, a little trestle bridge, again, a couple of old dilapidated buildings, you know, a few little shanties here and there, what looks like a little apartment complex. We have a Safeway store, the train station. Really neat little buildings. The restaurant. Of course, we follow the road, come to a little pond with a bridge. And there's the crossing. The road is very well done. Not exactly sure what the material is. It looks like it's some sort of hard foam, but it's done beautifully. All of the green, that's just painted on. At some point in the future, I'll likely take some green foliage, some ground cover, and redo all that. It's got a little siding. Just nicely done. And then, of course, it's got the mountain and the tunnel. I was absolutely thrilled to get this. Now, originally it did have a little backdrop, a painted backdrop scene. I did have to remove that in order to transport it and store it in the short term. I do have it saved away, so when I do get a spot at my own place, then I'll be able to reattach it. It also had some plexiglass sides, so that I believe just prevented people from touching the layout if they were looking at it wherever they originally had this stored. But a very cool layout. I'm excited to have it. I'll be running some trains on it in the near future, so keep your eyes out for that. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. Excited for what's to come.